Okay, perfect. So thank you so much, Michelle Schaffer, for being on this call. I'm so excited to introduce you to my team and vice versa. Just to give my team a little bit of background, Michelle and her husband have been in the industry for a combined 45 years, guys. They have 45 years of experience in our industry. They have worked both corporate jobs and in the field. They have been with Isogenics for approximately 4.5 years and hit millionaire in 3.5 years. Michelle is amazing. I met her and her daughter in the bathroom at Top Achievers. All the girls always meet and chat at the spa. But she's magnificent. She's a 7-star Golden Circle. She has 6 executives. And, tonight she's just here to offer her heart to us, her training, her skills. So I hope you guys will be proactive in asking questions in the chat box. But I have got a lot of questions for you, my lady.
Yay. I'm ready.
Welcome. I'm super duper stoked to have you here tonight.
Thank you. It was that was my 4th Top Achievers. That was the first time I ever chose the spa for the excursion, and it is going to forever be what I choose.
I always choose the spa because when I am kid free, I want to starfish in the bed. I want to sit in the spa and order room service.
It was spectacular. I will do it every time now.
Yeah.
But that was my first time. And I think my favorite part was the fact that there were so many other leaders there that you had that kind of downtime to chat with. That was, I think, my favorite part.
Well, last year, Victoria and I saw Joni Brewer and Robin Dunda in the hot tub naked.
Good times.
Top Achievers for me is the best event because that's where you get to see the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme, the movers and the shakers, who are relaxed, who have their head down, who are not with their team, who are actually there just as students, as taking a break and really just having their downtime. But it's such a magnificent time to really connect with people. So we'll go into the whole Top Achievers thing, but I want to ask you, how on earth did you find out about Isogenics? How many network marketing companies have you been with? Let me hear your story. I'm really excited to get to know you.
Okay, well, so before I've been in network marketing for 14 years. And before I did that, I'm in California, for those of you that don't know, Southern California. My career was, I stood behind the chair as a hairdresser and makeup artist, and I did that for 10 years. And I got prospected for many, many years for network marketing. And I didn't think it was bad or anything. I just didn't think there was any money in it. I made very good money in my career. I made 6 figures a year as a hairdresser. I worked crazy, insane hours, 50 to 60 hours a week. And I have 3 kids. I was a single mom for almost 7 years. So I have my oldest daughter's 27, my son is 24, and my little one, who Angela met, is 14, almost 15. And so for all those years that I did hair, I was a single mother, and I didn't have time. I didn't have time to do one of those little parties that people did to make an extra couple $100 a month. So it wasn't that I thought network marketing necessarily was bad. I just figured my whole impression of it was that it wasn't a career. It was something that bored women did to make a little extra cash. That was my whole thinking on network marketing. Well, fast forward several years, and I got kind of forced into this blind date with this guy, and he was in network marketing. Come to find out, he had at that point been in network marketing probably, he was 30, so over 15 years he had been in network marketing. He was the #2 income earner in a company. And that company that he was in at that time, him and Kathy Coover were cross-lined to each other. And so Bobby, my husband Bobby, that was the blind date I went on. We've been married. We've been together for 17 years. He's known Jim and Kathy for about 20. And so I got to see the other side of network marketing, the career side. That I got to see the lifestyle. I got to see that network marketing was a legitimate career that you could build. Now, I didn't jump in right away. We got married, had Savannah, and it wasn't until a few years into our relationship that I decided to go. What finally happened for me was I was turning the pages of my calendar like I was reading a book. It was like the months were going by like days. And on any given day, Bobby, at the time, when I jumped into network marketing, Bobby owned a mortgage company here in California. I was doing hair. My oldest daughter was in high school. My son was in middle school. And we had the baby, who was about 1.5 years. And on any given day, we were off in 5 different directions. Life was busy. And we had no quality of life. And I had this thing that welled up inside my heart. And it was almost like anxiety and desperate that if I didn't do something to change our situation, my kids were going to grow up and move out and they would have never known me. I spent, almost 7 years as a single mom missing everything because I had to work. And, that was what I knew. And so now, at this particular time, I decided that, something had to happen. I didn't know what. Now I'm going to back up just a tiny bit. For about 1.5 years, one of my clients she was a girlfriend of mine. She was talking to me about network marketing every time she came in to get her hair done. Every 4 weeks, she'd prospect me, every 4 weeks. And every 4 weeks, I would tell her, no, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. And I actually talked to Bobby about it. And he said, no, that company's old. It has a terrible comp plan. There's really not any opportunity there for you. I trusted him because he's the guy, right? He's the one that knows. I don't know. And so about 18 months of that, okay, every 4 weeks for 18 months. And so she sits down in my chair on this one day, and I was exhausted, and I was feeling this feeling of desperation in my heart, just praying, God, something, you have to open another door. Something has to happen. Then she sat down in my chair that day and did her normal thing where she was prospecting me. And I was, like I said, I was a little moody. So I said to her, if you want me in your business so bad, how much are you making? Now, mind you, we were friends. Okay. It wasn't just like, I wasn't just being mean. She was my girlfriend, so I could speak to her like that. And she said, well, last month I made $13,000. And so I was like, okay, here's a girl that wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. She knew nothing about network marketing. And in 1.5 years, she created a $13,000 a month income. So here's what I thought. If she can do it, so can I. And I can do it better and faster because I have Bobby. So I jumped into network marketing with the intention of my only intention was to cut my work schedule in half. I figured, listen, if I could make, $5,000-$6,000 a month, I could cut my work schedule in half and life would be so much better at home. But I quickly fell in love. I fell in love with the profession. And after 6 months, I didn't replace my income completely, but I was making enough after 6 months that I retired from the career I spent 10 years behind the chair building. And after 9 months, I had replaced it. That was an old company with a very old comp plan. And as I was Bobby and I were promoting people and developing them, as soon as they would reach a rank, they would literally come outside of my compensation plan. It's called a breakaway. And I would then earn only a small percentage of the commission that I was earning. So I went from, my biggest month in that company was $11,000 a month, which was amazing to me. $11,000 a month at home. And now I was working hard. It was a party plan and it was a lot more work than what we do here at Isogenics, but still, I was still home. And so I went from $11,000 the next month, I made $8,300 because somebody promoted, and I was heartbroken. I was like, why would I ever want to help people when I help them and I lose money? Right. So I felt disenchanted with that company, but I loved the profession. Because of my husband's experience, we went to another company. We made it to the number 9 income earner at that company, small company, doing about $50 million a year. And Bobby, that company was transitioning. They asked him to work on the corporate side. So he became the vice president of sales for that company. And they got me. It was like a twofer. They got him and I tagged along. So I worked on the corporate side with that company. And from that experience, we actually opened up our own network marketing company. It was health and nutrition, skincare, and that lasted about 2.5 years. After 2.5 years, our investors who owned more of the company than we did kicked us out. So I tell you all this to get to the point of how we found Isogenics. We had seen the good, bad, and the ugly. Bobby way more than I had seen the good, bad, and the ugly. When Isogenics started, Kathy Cooper called Bobby. This was in 2002. She called Bobby. Bobby went down, stayed at their house. He walked through the manufacturing. He met John Anderson. We went to the very, very first event that Isogenics had called the Summer Splash. I was pregnant with Savannah. And Bobby made it to founding executive, which was during the pre-launch of Isogenics. And after he only stayed there about 9 months, felt that it was unstable as a new company, just wasn't sure. Things weren't really, it just wasn't the right timing. I wasn't networking yet. But Bobby at the time, when he was with Isogenics in 2002, he was doing meetings here in Southern California with Jay Bennett and Renata Lee. So after we left Isogenics, after Bobby left Isogenics, guess who started prospecting Bobby about at least 2 times a year, every year for 6 years? Jay Bennett. Jay Bennett would call him every 6 to 9 months. Actually, he called my phone. I still don't know how he had my phone number because I had never met him. And he would say, hey, what's going on, Bobby? Well, the timing just happened to be right. 6 years later, Jay called Bobby right before we actually got kicked out of our own company. They set up a meeting, didn't tell Jay when it happened, but Bobby had been obviously watching Isogenics. He knows Jim and Kathy as human beings before they opened Isogenics, trusted them, believed in them, trusted in the products, knew about John Anderson and the quality that was in the product. So when that happened and we lost everything, we came to Isogenics literally beat up, bruised, and with nothing. We had no income coming in. We had about 3 months of money in our savings account to live off of, and we came here specifically for the business. And we didn't even really get started on products. We started late September 2012. We didn't even really actually get serious about products until January 2013. So when we came here, the number one most important thing to us in coming to Isogenics was who was at the top. Because we knew from experience that if you didn't have the right people running the company from the top, nothing else would matter. So that was number one. That was the number one factor. Knowing who they were as humans, the type of integrity that they had, that, they didn't need to do this. And Bobby he liked them as human beings. And so that was number one. Number two, we knew that these were products that worked. The company had steady growth. Health and wellness, weight loss is not a trend. It is food. So that was big. And number three, the third thing that we really loved was that Isogenics had only added to the compensation plan at that time in 10 years. So for 10 years, the only thing that they had done was add to it. They had added more bonuses, added more features to it. So all of that to say that when we bathed it in a lot of prayer, obviously, but we did our own due diligence, and we made the decision feeling like if we're coming to this company, and it's the company we're going to finish out our career with. So that was in 2012.
Yeah, I love it. And how you guys have had tremendous success on your journey. I had no idea that you guys go way back. I really didn't know that you had that much network marketing experience.
Bobby has more than me. So he's had over 30, and then with my 14, so we say 45.
Amazing. And I have to ask you, what is that brilliant vase that you have with all those e-shots? Are they finished e-shots or are they... That is magnificent because oh my God, I freaking love that thing. Are they empties or are they full?
They're empty.
You put all your empties in there. That's magnificent. Yeah. I would have 10 times the size.
Oh, believe me. We did that very, very quickly. That was filled up very quickly.
So I have a few questions. I mean, things are going rough. You have a great career, but we hear this story so often that for many people, it's not the money. You talk to people about the money, but you have to find out what's on their heart, because for you were doing okay. You were doing great. You were taking care of your babies. You were a hustler. You were on your feet. You're passionate about the beauty industry. what finally got you thinking differently? I mean, when this woman came in and you said, you know what, I can do what she does, what was it just a breaking point for you? Was it like, I can't take anymore, I'm exhausted? I mean, because some people, like, they have the goods in front of them, but I feel like maybe your back has to be against the wall. Tell me, what was it for you that really made you say, you know what, I got to give this a try? Because I had that feeling. I went to Celebration and I saw Lisa DeMeo, millionaire number 93. Single mom from Long Island, 3 kids. And I looked at her with all due respect. I said, if she can do this, I can do this too.
Yeah, well, I agree with you exactly. In my experience of people that are in that situation, like do or die, they're the ones that do make it happen. For me, so I was a teen mom. I had my daughter at 16, my son at 19. By the time I was 21, I was divorced with 2 kids. And then when I met Bobby and we had Savannah, I stayed home with her until she was about 9 weeks old, and then I went back to work. And I would go to work and I would bawl. Everyone thought I had postpartum depression because I hated leaving her. When I was a teenager, I didn't have a career or a job, or, you know what I mean? My mom was we got married, but my mom helped a ton. And so I didn't have to work when they were little. I only had to start working when we got divorced. And so I had this baby, and it tortured me to leave her every day. And so that was one. And then 2, I'm looking at my other children, and my daughter was a freshman in high school. She played freshman basketball and freshman softball. I got to go to 1 basketball game, period, for the whole year. And I just felt like this is not how God wanted us to live. I'm not supposed to just go to work every day, watch my children grow up. We only have 18 summers. Yeah. We have 18 summers with our kids before they start off on their journey outside of us, right? Maybe 19, maybe 20. But when you think about life, it's happening so fast. And I just felt like I didn't want to have another summer where I'm trying to figure out where to take my children, because I'm gone at work every day and I'm not making memories with them, and they're going to leave, and what are they going to have with me? And so it really was a breaking point, but I couldn't quit because you need money. You have to have income to live. And I just kept thinking in my heart, other people do it. There has to be something where I can make more money in less time and I can be in charge. And so because I had watched and listened to Bobby for a number of years talking about network marketing, I believed that could be the answer for me. And it wasn't until this girl that I thought was, kind of stupid did it, that I thought, if this dumb girl can do it, there's no reason I can't do it. I'm smarter than her. And so I jumped in, and it's probably the thing I love the most about this profession, is that it doesn't matter what your background is. I went to 1 semester of college, as a teen mom. And if I can make this business happen, anybody can make it happen, because most of my friends went to college and got a minimum of bachelor's degrees. Most of them got master's degrees. You know what I mean? They're all smarter than me. And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're making $60K a year and you're getting paid a price of a heart surgeon.
Yeah.
For selling shakes. Did you have any doubts along the way? I mean, I know Bobby is such a powerful force, and I know that he's poured so much love and belief, and just, he's
yes.
amazing. But did you ever at any point think, can I do this? Is this going to happen? Did you ever have like any, sometimes like I listen to Jay Bennett, and he talks about how he used to sell pantyhose. He's like, I have tried so many different companies. At one point, I was just broken. Did you ever have any doubts or fears as to whether or not you can do this?
And again, it's before I started my journey in network marketing, but being such a young mom and having to make the decisions I had to make at a young age, I didn't have fear that I couldn't make it. I lived in the mentality of, I will make it happen. I wasn't afraid of hard work. I didn't care what I had to do or who. Matter of fact, I think I was at an advantage when I got started, because I felt so desperate inside that when somebody said no to me, it didn't even faze me. I was like, okay, next. I didn't even care. It's funny because as I progressed in my career, I started to care more about the no's than I did in the beginning, because in the beginning I was literally desperate. It's like if anybody's ever been in a desperate situation, all you care about is the ones that will. You literally don't even have time to care about the ones that won't.
Yeah.
I figured there's got to be other people out there like me. So in the very beginning of my career, it was never even a question to me that I wouldn't make it. It just was a matter of how long it was going to take. And I wanted it to happen fast. So I figured if I did more than others, this is how I built my hair career. When I built my career doing hair, other girls were like, well, I only work Tuesday and Thursday from these hours to these hours. And I was like, I'll work any time. Any day of the week, I'll come in, I'll do their hair. Doesn't matter if it's day or night, middle of the day, I don't care. That's how I built a huge clientele, being willing to do the things that other people didn't. So when I started my network marketing business, I was just willing to talk to everybody. Literally, I didn't even care. I actually got fired from my salon 3 times before I actually quit, because she was hearing from the other girls that I was talking about this other business. And every time she rescinded, but she just, and I didn't even care. I was like, I'll work out of my home. I'll go to another salon. This is going to happen for me because my kids deserve to have me home. So I literally was tunnel vision. As my career progressed though, I did start to think, well, it wasn't until after really we lost our company that I was like, maybe this profession isn't for me. I had this much hope and belief that it really could happen in the way that I believed was possible, the way that I believed and had talked about for so many years what you could build. But you have to have all the right ingredients. The company matters. The comp plan matters big time. And I talk to many leaders even here that say, oh, I don't care about the comp plan. Well, you should. Yeah. You really should. I have tons of friends in beauty companies, hair companies, lipstick companies, and they need to care about the comp plan because they will never, ever truly have real freedom because their compensation plans won't allow it. They can work just as hard as we do, if not harder, and they will never reach the levels of freedom and financial success that we will here because of the company that we're with.
Yeah, it's absolutely 100% true. I have no network marketing experience, and just having other great leaders on the call. We've had women on the call from Mary Kay, women on the call from Arbonne, and they tell me all the time, girl, if this is your first company, you thank your lucky stars you got it right on the first time, because to have to go through another company, lose your whole team, rebuild from scratch, it is much harder. So I think it's important for you guys to hear, this is definitely the right company. Jim and Kathy are amazing on a personal level. The comp plan is slim to none. And this is someone who was married to a network marketing guru who's seen the ins and outs of it. We really are in a terrific place. So what I want to ask you is, when you first left and you said, crap, I need to replace that income quickly, and you did it in the first 6 months, what are the activities that you did? Because people on this call, they hear people, I hit 6 figures in 9 months.
Yeah.
But I went all out. So I want people to know that what kind of activity, what kind of work ethic is involved, because Michelle, it is not just posting on Facebook. If you need to go out there, meet people, talk to people, I was going to dancing at different Zumba schools every night of the week just to make friends and meet people.
Yeah.
Tell me about some of those balls out activities that you engaged in the first 6 months to create that income.
Well, I'll tell you about then, and then I'll tell you about here. When I first got started, it was a party plan. And I worked, about 60 hours a week in the salon. I changed my schedule to work, instead of working every night, I only worked one night at the salon. And I was out 3 to 4 nights a week doing in-home presentations, driving the miles to people's homes. And many of them, I didn't know them. I would do them for myself and people on my team. I was willing to do anything and everything. We did not have social media then. 14 years ago, there was no social media. We had the telephone and my car. So I would get on the phone, I would talk with people, I would set up meetings, and I would do as many meetings as possible. And it was hard. It was really hard. We sat down with my older two kids and we said, listen, here's the deal. We're already really busy, but it's going to get even busier. And we're going to need you guys to help. But here's the goal. The goal is that at the end of 6 months, mom's going to be home twice as much. Because remember, my only goal was to cut my schedule in half. And so we said, there's going to be more frozen pizza dinners. The house isn't going to get cleaned as much. We're going to need your help. We're going to need your help with Savannah. But in the end, you're going to have me more. And everybody pitched in, and it was crazy. I would do meetings at my house, and I would tell people, and they thought I was kidding, but I wasn't, because you have to give something up. You can't do everything that you were doing and go balls out. Something has to go temporarily. So do you want to know what I gave up? Because all I was doing was working anyway. I gave up cleaning my house. And so when I would have meetings at my house, I would clean the area that people walked into, the room that we did the meeting in, and the one bathroom that people were allowed to go in. And I would say, listen, stay in this area. Don't go anywhere else, because I don't have time to clean my house while I'm building this business. And they'd be all, huh? I was like dead serious. It was really gross. And, I didn't care. Everything left except for my job, taking care of my family, and building so I could leave the job. And so when we came here to Isagenix, we didn't have jobs, but we had no income. So again, we were on the phone, and I told the story that literally tore my guts out, to tell the story of what had happened to us with that company. I was humiliated. I was the president and co-founder of my company. And I had to call people and say, here's what we're doing. And every single phone call, hundreds of them, people said, well, wait a minute, I thought you owned your own company. And I had to tell the story over and over and over, which in the beginning would gut me. I'd get off the phone and cry. But, after a while, it started to hurt less and less and less. And our growth has been very similar to yours, Angela. We got to 3-star in 9 months. And I was out 3 to 4 nights a week in my car, driving the miles to do presentations in people's home. In that first 9 months to build it hard. I didn't care. And even better, in a binary, it didn't matter who they were or where they landed, because if they were interested, I was there. Yeah. And that's what I did for the first 9 months. In addition to, you do everything, right? You're on social media, you're meeting people, talking to people. I didn't care. We would do calls at birthday parties. We would excuse ourselves on Sunday night for our team call, no matter what, no matter what was going on in the family. We would excuse ourselves and do the thing for our business and then come back. And, some people, they're not willing. Oh, well, I can't do that. We have a birthday party. I can't do that. My kid's in soccer. I tell people, get your kids out of sports until you're making 10 grand a month, because then when you're making 10 grand a month, you can afford it and you'll have the time to go. But here in California, kids' sport takes precedence in people's lives. And how is that moving your family forward? How is that moving your future forward? So, I don't want to go off on a tangent about that, but I believe that everybody in the family has to give something up for a period of time, but then you get it all back and more.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. My life has changed tenfold in 4 short years. But I would say use the sports as an opportunity. Ask them if you can hang up a banner, a sign. Use that hour to make calls while the kids are occupied. Schedule things. And that's the whole beauty of this, is doing this in the pockets of your life, right? Yes. Asking for referrals. So what do you think was your biggest regret since you started building with Isagenix? What was your biggest, I wish I would have known that sooner?
I wish we would have stayed with Isagenix in 2002 when Bobby first signed up. I have no regrets being here with Isagenix. It's all a learning experience. Even the things that haven't worked out exactly the way that I thought that they would, I'm very, very grateful for, because they enable me to be a better teacher, leader, trainer for everybody else. I don't have anything to say about my journey here at Isagenix that I would change or obviously it's never fast enough for anybody. I'm sure you would agree and say the same thing. We all, no matter where you're at or no matter how fast your business is growing, it never feels fast enough. So yeah. I'd like that to change. But other than that, I'm just, I feel every single day I'm unbelievably humbled and grateful to be with this company.
Absolutely. So, what do you think it's going to take people? We have a lot of directors, managers, one stars on the call. What do you think it's going to take to get these guys to 3-star to earn that top achievers? I remember going from broke as a joke and them telling me that I won a trip to top achievers at Laguna Nigel. I'm like, where the hell is that? I don't even know. I had to go to a local store and tell them that I literally have like mom like leggings and I need some fancy clothes because this is a fancy schmancy event. And just being around all these people and meeting someone like Tammy Hess, she came from Mary Kay and is an ISA millionaire, meeting Jimmy, like you meet so many old school people that are so wise and so knowledgeable and they're just sharing their nuggets. And then, my gosh, we won Hilton Head, South Carolina, and that one I took my family to, and then Maui, and it's just, you guys have an opportunity to be in Hawaii with really the best of the best. If not for top achievers, I would not have had an opportunity to connect with Michelle, literally in the bathroom spa. Can you give them some business building tips? What is necessary to get to 3-star?
Well, first of all, I just want to tell all of you guys, you're so lucky to be on a team with Angela because she has paved the way for you. She's not talking about something that she didn't do. She did it. She got to 3-star in 9 months. So no matter what rank you are, if you're listening to this, whether it's live or you're listening to a recording, you have the ability to do exactly what Angela did and earn your way to top achievers. And one of the things that we stayed focused on as we were going as hard as we could, not really thinking about the stars or anything. It was about just making ends meet so that we could survive. We weren't looking at 3-star, 4-star. We were like, we need to make enough money to live because we weren't making enough. We had nothing when we came here. And the thing that we were really, really laser focused on was going executive and taking as many people executive with us as possible. So up until we hit 7-star, every rank that we hit it with promotions of executives too. So when we were 1-star Golden Circle, we were 1-star executive. 2-star Golden Circle, we were 2-star executive. And we've been able to do that. That's always a focus of ours. And then in doing that, you're teaching your team to do the same. I've been talking about this a lot lately. Of course, we have you share, they share, and we talk about it a ton. But I feel that we are really, really setting the bar too low when that's what we talk about so often. And so what we're talking to our team about now is, listen, of course you show them you share, they share, but you say, if you're interested in the business, your first goal is executive. And you share, they share is step 1. The goal is to get to executive, because don't you guys know this? When we talk to people, we say, all you have to do is get your first 2. How many people get stuck at only having 1? And they can't even get the second one because we're putting the bar here. But what we need to do is put the bar here. Your goal is to get 10 that get 2. We need to find 5 on the left, 5 on the right, and we need to help them all get 2. What if they only get 6? Look how much higher they have shot than if we're telling them only to get 2. And I feel like we as a company have kind of lowered the bar on people, and I know why we do it, but for you guys, you're on this call. You're being mentored by one of the top leaders in the company, Angela. You need to follow what she's done, and you need to focus on going executive. And the way you get there is by focusing on the people in your team, getting them there. Rather than thinking about, I need 5 consultants on the left and 5 consultants on the right. Here's your mindset. I want to create 5 executives on the left and 5 executives on the right. That's how you get there, and that's how you're going to get to 3-star, is because you're going to take your efforts and all of your energy is going to be focused on helping the people on your team to move up the ranks. I am a firm believer in that. Leadership development is something we really focus on our teams, and we know that. Of course, we have thousands of customers. We all will, but it's the leaders that bring all the customers. So we need to raise the bar and teach people that their goal is to go to executive. So what you need to do to go 3-star is focus on how many 1-stars on the right do you need and how many 1-stars or 2-stars on the left do you need. So we teach our team, obviously you need to know your goal. It's just a decision. I'm going to get there. I'm going to be in Maui with the rest of the top achievers. That's number 1. Number 2, who am I going to take to $56,000 a year? Who am I going to take to, $24,000 a year? And you need to find those leaders and focus in on them. Always, it's a 2-part goal, you guys. You're always enrolling. You're always looking for the next Angela, right? You're always looking for that person that's looking. That never ends. That is all the time, all the time. But with your team, you need to help them to rank advance. And that's something we've really, really focused on.
How do you get people to raise their hand, or how do you find the runners as opposed to the walkers? Because we have a system on our team where we're like, oh my God, day 5, I'll introduce you to another coach. We'll get you to share. Day 8, we get you to post. And then you're right. It does stop with them just finding 2. How do you, I know casting a vision, getting people to events is all a very important part of it, but how do you say, girl, look, I think you're magnificent. I think you're spectacular. I would love to lock arms and get you to executive. Are you open? Is that the kind of dialogue that you have with someone?
It is, but before I do that, and we really try to teach this on our team, and people are still uncomfortable with it, but what I do, I ask a ton of questions. Because here's the thing, I have some amazing people on my team, and they don't have a money why. They do not have a money why, and they are not motivated because they're comfortable. There has to be a need that has to be filled. So I ask a lot of questions. Okay, so this is one of my favorite ones to ask. I ask it in all phases of the business. When I'm prospecting, when I'm working with leaders, I ask them, okay, so tomorrow morning, what is today? Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow morning, you wake up. Every single bill, everybody you owe is paid up. Okay, you don't have a job, you have nowhere to go, you have more zeros on your bank account than you would ever need. What do you do? What do you do tomorrow? And for some people, it takes me asking that question for 12 months before they can get to it. They've forgotten how to dream. They don't know how to dream. They don't believe anything's possible for them. So I'm continually asking the question. Another question I ask, okay, so how much money would it take for you to literally just say goodbye to your job? And people's first answer, no matter what they're making at their job, their first answer, 10 grand a month. That's always the first thing they say. I go, oh, is that what you're making at your job? Well, no. Okay, so what would it take for you to be able to quit your job? Literally, like match it dollar for dollar, or if exactly, like how much would it take? And then it goes way down. Well, really, I'd only need to make about $45,000 a year. I go, that's 2-star. I can help you to get to 2-star in 6 months. And they go, really? Yes, that's what I can help you do. So I ask tons of questions because I want to get here. Because if it's here, it doesn't happen. But as you get to know them and as they trust you, and then when it goes from here to here, and then they start to believe that maybe it's possible. See, every success that they have takes their belief and bumps it a notch. They get on the products and it tastes good. Bumps it a notch. They get on the product, now they have results. Bumps it a notch. They have somebody at work that asks them a question and you're available there for them to help them answer that question. Bumps them a notch. Sign up their first person. Bumps them a notch. Get paid. Bumps them a notch. All these things are these little building blocks that help to build their belief. So we have this system on our team. It's called the Critical First 30 Days. And we really invest in people and lock arms with them in the first 30 days. And what we found is if somebody doesn't engage in the business side in the first 30 days, in my mind, for my own ability to stay sane and not spin my wheels, I take them and I put them in the customer box. They're a customer. Listen, now I'm dripping on them again about the business. I'm always here. I'll help you get your products paid for, help you make a car payment, but I am not spending the same amount of energy on them for the business, okay? But if somebody engages and they enroll at least one person in that first 30 days, I know if I can get somebody paid, I got them. They're in. If I can help them get paid in the first 30 days, hook, line, and sinker. Their belief went from to here. And if you can help them make $25, I tell them the same thing. If you can make 25, you can make 2,500. If you can make 2,500, you can make 25,000, because we're not doing anything different. It just takes longer. That's it. Yeah. So we spend a lot of time on that, and really give people everything we've got for that first 30 days, continually casting a vision, continually asking them questions. One of the leaders on our team who's a 3-star, it took me 1 year, every time I got together with her, at least once a week, every event we went to, okay, what do you do tomorrow? All your bills are paid. You can do anything you want. For the first 6 months, her answer was sleep. I would sleep. Okay, you've slept for 2 weeks. What do you do now? She's like, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. It took a year of continually asking her and breaking down these walls of like this box that she'd been in her whole life before she actually started to dream. But it was so worth it, because she's one of the biggest leaders on our team. And now she's doing that very thing for other people. So it's really about matching energy for energy, knowing who I focus my energy on, teaching my team the same thing. And it's not about what people say, because they'll all say they want it. It's about the action that they take.
Yeah.
And so when they take an action, I match it. I'm there for them. But if they don't, I don't dump them and I never talk to them again. I just, in my mind, I put them over here, and now I'm dripping on them again about the business continually. And I'll send a text like, hey, Susie, I know you're not interested in the business, but you have 17 people under you on one side. You have 7, and you haven't done anything, and you have 17 people under you on one side. Well, what does that mean? I just say, it means you have a huge head start when you're ready. And I leave it there. And I continue to tell them that every few months. I'll say, how you doing? Whatever. Okay, now it's up to 60 people. Is that insane? You've never even done anything, and you have a business with 60 people. And I'm continually casting that to them.
Yeah. So it's not so much the how-to. It's more so you've got to want it. They've got to want it. They've got to think of
the how-to is easy.
Yeah, just talk to people. You can meet people in Target. It's like easy, It's really getting people to see what's possible. And I have to tell you, we're all able to do this. I mean, going to an Isogenics meeting, I see people that are big, small, short, tall, all educational backgrounds, different races, different religions. And it's just magnificent that this is real. You get compensated based on your passion. If you are passionate about this, if you are willing to do the do each and every day, don't treat it like a hobby, really touch your business every day, you will be successful. I mean, the woman who signed me up, she wasn't doing this seriously. She wasn't in it full time. We brought in 23,000 people into our organization. You just never know who you're going to meet. But the energy, the enthusiasm, the daily effort, it's got to start with you, because if you're not doing the do, it's not going to happen. And I feel like this is like incredible. Like if I could be 13 star, why would I stop at 8 and say, man, I'm good. I'm not good. I want to grow. I want to challenge myself. And that's what every star is. I feel like with every star, I grow a little as a person. I help somebody else grow a little bit as a person. And it's been such an amazing journey, not just for the compensation, but the development, the time freedom, the friends that I've made along the way, the people that we've helped. It's just, I couldn't think of anything better to be a part of. It's magnificent.
It's pretty amazing. I tell people I'm lucky enough to have found 2 soulmates in my life. Number 1, my amazing husband and partner. But number 2, this business is my soulmate. I was meant to do this. I was meant to help people right now. And here's another thing I want you guys to remember, all of you that are on the call. There are specific people in your lives that you are the only one that they will say yes to. Literally, by you not reaching out to certain people, you are holding them back from a blessing that could be life-changing. You've heard Angela talk about, her story. By you using fear, excuses, whatever, and you're not contacting those people, they will never be able to have this, because that's just part of what God's plan for their life is, that you're the one. So you got to be brave, and you got to take yourself and your fear out of the equation and think, this person needs what I have. They need you don't need them. They need what you have. Yeah. They need what you have. They're fighting with their spouse. They're looking at the mess of bills on their desk. They have this need for their children or their family or their parents that they cannot fill because the finances aren't there. But you are the key. You are the answer they've been waiting for. And all you have to do is pick up the phone, because the right people are going to come into your business, and the ones that aren't supposed to, don't worry about them. You're being protected from something. If somebody that you wanted so bad doesn't come in your business, or God forbid they sign up with another person in Isogenics or in another company, just know you were probably protected, and you may never know why they didn't get in your business, but they weren't supposed to be here. But the people that you don't talk to, they might have been the ones that were supposed to be here, but you'll never know because you didn't reach out. So you just got to take all that away. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? They say no. Well, then nothing happened.
That's it.
They're not talking to them. But let me tell you something. They're already talking about you. Here's what I always tell people: that I worked with women my whole life, okay? They're already talking about you. Give them something good. Give them transformation. Give them a positive attitude. Give them the fact that you're a different person than you used to be. Give them the fact that now your life is different. You're making money. You're free. Give them something good to talk about, because they're already doing it. Right? Like, you have nothing to lose. It's win, win, win for you. And this profession, if you allow it to, it'll help you to become the absolute best version of yourself that you could ever be. And then that trickles down on all the people whose lives that you touch as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So do you guys have any questions? If you have a question, just unmute yourself, or just raise your hand. We'll take maybe one or two quick questions. And Barbara, is that your hand up? I don't know if you're raising your hand. Does anyone have any questions for Michelle? Questions? Comments?
Unmute yourself.
Sorry, I came in late.
Hi, Barbara.
I'm in California, so it's hard to come into these conversations. But I'm sorry, what is your name again?
Me, Michelle.
Michelle, thank you so much. Just the short bit that I've seen so far, I agree. This is my first time doing anything like this. I come from a teaching background, and just something that just hit home was the fact that, I worry about what people are thinking. I'm posting stuff on Facebook. I've never put myself out there before. And you're right. I really appreciate you saying that, because I always say this to my friends. I said, they're talking about you anyway, so you might as well give them something good to talk about. So, that really hit home for me. So thank you. I don't really have a question right now. I mean, I don't want to ask a question, because I know that you probably already covered it when I wasn't on, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Barbara. Thanks for Barbara. We appreciate you. And we'll post the recording, guys, for everyone.
Okay. Thanks.
Any questions or comments? Hi, Pam. Go ahead.
Hi, sorry, my sound's pretty bad. I'm on my iPad. My question is, I'm very anxious about talking to people in public that I don't know. What's your best tip for not feeling anxious and being able to speak to strangers in public?
Awesome. That's a really, really good question. It's a very common question. Let me ask you a question first. Do you consider yourself an introvert?
Yes.
Okay. I'm married to an introvert, and 2 of my 3 children are introverts. And I'm going to tell you a couple things. Number 1, people are a friend before they're a prospect. Always. So when you're talking to somebody out in public that's a stranger, just connect with them like a regular person would connect. I like to pick out something about somebody or their person or what they're doing or their children and compliment them, because it's very disarming, especially when it's genuine. You're like, oh my gosh, you have such well-behaved children, or oh, that's a really cute bag. Where'd you get it? Just start a conversation and become a friend with somebody. I am really turned off when people meet me and say, oh, I'm growing my business in the area and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, get out of here. You don't even care about me. You're caring about the bottom line. And what I like to do is I like to connect with human beings. Like, we're all human beings, and we have so much technology to connect us, but we're disconnected from humans. Yes. So I just like to connect with people first and foremost and just start a genuine conversation. I love saying, are you on Facebook? Here, friend yourself, and hand them my phone so that they can friend themselves, and now we're connected. And maybe the prospecting happens later. I've had it where people have said, okay, what is it that you do? Because I'm seeing all your, and I never even said anything. So I say connect first, number one. But number two, I want to tell you something as an introvert. A lot of times people will use their specific personality traits as an excuse to not do the business. Well, I can't, I'm an introvert. But I want to tell you that everything that you need to be successful in this business, Pam, is a skill that you can develop. So you can be an introvert and a millionaire here at the same time. You have to develop the skills to be able to go out and create connections with strangers and take your personality and say, yeah, I'm an introvert, but it doesn't mean I'm not personable and I don't know how to connect with people. So don't hide behind that and allow that to be something that stops you, because a lot of introverts do.
I'm very friendly.
I can tell that. So just connect with people, and as it's a natural thing, say, oh, are you on Facebook? I'd love to stay connected with you. Oh, I'm involved with this mom's group. Let's connect on Facebook so I can get you, connected. Oh, maybe we can do a play date with our kids at the park. Something that is natural in the natural conversation of you creating a friend. They're a friend first and then a prospect. I have found that's how I do it personally.
Awesome. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for asking, Pam. Okay, we'll take one more and then we're going to let Michelle go. Anyone else? Any questions? Comments?
I have a question, but I don't want to get in front of someone.
Okay, let's, Jen, do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question. Whenever I see someone I actually have someone who is on my team who is very, very poor, and she is in desperate need of, besides the weight loss, the opportunity that the company could present. I've invested my own money into her initially because she can't afford for herself. But I see, like at this point, she's so busy with everything. She's got 5 kids. She's overwhelmed, and I'm trying to figure out how to help her. And I'm also new in this. So I'm trying to figure out, she has a lot of connections. She's very much extrovert. She's social. She just needs a boost and help. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that on my own at this point.
Drag her to an event.
So you paid for her sign up?
I did, and I put it myself on Autoship for now.
And how long ago was that?
A week.
Okay, so she's your friend?
A coworker.
Okay, so Angela told me no sugarcoating. So you guys are from New York. I'm from California, but I swear I got a little Jersey in me. It's time to have a conversation and say, listen, I made an investment in you. I made an investment in you. So here's how we're going to get the return on my investment. You're going to invite people over to your house. I'll do the presentation. Or you're going to make some phone calls with me, and you're going to introduce me to people in your circle. Or who do you know right now that would do this with you? You have to, here's the thing about leadership, you guys. It's not lording over people or bossing them around, but sometimes people need that gentle nudge on their back to take the step. So because you invested in her, okay, which by the way, just FYI, I'm not going to tell you to never do that. I don't do it. If I ever did do it, it would be with a ... If you do this, I'd be willing to do this. If you can bring me 4 people immediately that we can sign up under you, then I'd be willing to do that, because then you'll earn this money back and you can pay me back. Because what I have found is if you give things to people, they have no skin in the game, number one. There's no value in it. They're not real worried about it because it didn't cost them anything. I have a girl on my team who had $250 in her bank account, it was a little bit less, and signed up with a 9-day and took her account down to like less than $50 and worked her complete butt off for 2 straight weeks before she even got her product, because she knew that she had to replenish that bank account. It's something about, having skin in the game. So obviously you can't go back now, but you can go to her and say, listen, I want to take the friend hat off and I want to talk business with you because I'm a businesswoman here and we need to have a conversation. I invested in you. Here's how we're going to get my investment back.
Yeah. Twice I made the mistake of doing that, and twice it backfired. Once was for a good friend. She failed miserably on the program because she didn't spend her own money to do it. She didn't care it was my money. And the second time it was for a trainer, a manager at Equinox. And I so wanted him to get the product. Somebody wants it bad enough. Guys, Trish Wilkins sold her refrigerator to get started with a President's Pack. When people tell me they don't have the money, I say, you go take those pants that you don't want to fit into anymore. You get rid of those size 12s and 14s. You sell them in the consignment shop, and you call me in 2 weeks when you do have enough money. People
or tell people, get a room of 15 people. Get a room of 15 people into your house, and you can sign up the same night that they all sign up, and you'll know that in 2 weeks you'll have your investment back. I mean, there's ways to do it for people that are broke, you guys. There is ways to do it. And what I have found for most people, now, not to say that there are some people legitimately that they are that broke. I've been that broke. So I'm not saying that it's not always true. But most of the time, it's just a priority because their kids are still doing stuff. They're still having birthday parties. They're still doing all these things, going out to eat. So it's a priority. And we can't. That's not our business. If it's not a priority, then you need to see that. When they show you it's not a priority, believe them.
Yeah. And I also kind of feel that if you're talking to more people, you're not bummed by the ones who don't want to do anything. I feel like I saw 14 people in June, 2 went consultant, and I'm pretty happy.
That's amazing.
And the ones who don't. You got to keep it moving. You got to find the ones that do. I mean, I heard Susan Sly say that there is gold in the backyard. Here's your shovel. Start digging. Start looking for the people who want the same things as you. You're going to meet people who are allergic to the products. You're going to meet people who are allergic to hard work. You want to meet people that are on the same wavelength as you. The ones that love it, the ones that are passionate, the ones that want to try the chips next month. That's your wonderful customer base, 80%. You're going to have 20% that do something, and even fewer that are going to be the hustlers and bustlers like Michelle. Those are the ones you're looking for. You don't have time to spend, to beg and pull and push and convince. It's just, this is too valuable. Too valuable.
When do you stop the begging, or not begging, but when do you stop kind of pushing people? You found out initially that they were interested, and it's taken them a few days to respond to you, and then I text someone today and I say, hey, let's get this going. Let's start. I want to help you out. You told me you wanted to do X, Y, and Z. Let's get this party started. And I still get no response, and then they don't want to, kind of look me in the eye or anything like that. So how do you know when to stop? They haven't signed up yet. No.
Well, I never stop with a prospect.
Okay.
I'll give them a break.
Yeah.
I'll keep going. I just had this happen with 2 separate girls. Oh, I want to sign up. Okay, great. Are you ready today? There's free enrollment. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing. By my last message, I was annoyed. I was like, you call me. I'm not begging for your business here. I'm doing real good. You need me.
Right. Got it.
This every day that you wait, you're holding off on your life, not mine. Because like Angela said, I'm moving forward. So
I know it makes me feel so sad because I'm so invested in, especially my initial people, because they're generally close to you because you want them to be, you want everyone to be successful, but they're close to you like family. So, it makes me sad. I know. It makes me sad.
I haven't signed up any family or close.
Oh, no, they're not actually family. They're friends, but I love them like family.
But here's the thing, you will, especially in the beginning of the business, and especially as women, Ed doesn't have this problem. I see Ed over there. Bobby doesn't have this problem. We as women, we want it way more for people than they want it for themselves.
Yeah. Guys
are like this, dude, when you're ready, I'm here. You don't come to me. Nothing I can do. I'm on to the next person. But girls were like, oh, come on. I love you. Do this.
That's me.
You gotta build up a little bit of emotional intelligence in the business and realize that this is a business. Yes, it's touchy-feely, it's a relationship, but it's still a business. And if you want to be $1 million earner, you got to act like it now.
Okay.
These are follow-ups that I have been following up with for 4 years. It's important to know that most people don't say yes on the first try, Barbara.
Right.
Even if you're fantastic, I consider myself a great enroller. But what makes me a great enroller is the amount of conversations and the amount of no's that I've gone through.
Mhm.
A great enroller is not being emotionally attached and understanding that people take at least 4 to 6 exposures. And you, my dear, watch Sabina for at least a year.
So true.
So you got to be patient.
Yeah.
And you got to keep following up. And it's not a personal. It has nothing to do with you or your presentation. They might not want to give up their wine and cheese. You don't know what's going on. Just be patient, keep a cool heart, a cool head, and keep following up.
Okay. That's good advice. Thanks.
Perfect.
Michelle, I love you. You are amazing. Thank you so much for an amazing, amazing training. Guys, can we give her a big woohoo? 1, 2.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you so much, Michelle. We appreciate you.
Well, I can't wait to have you on one of our calls, Angela, because you're a super, we call you a super enroller. There's my husband. He just got done with his call.
Sorry, guys.
Bobby.
I wanted to be here with you, but I had to do a sign up.
Oh, did you enroll? All right. Hey, he got an enrollment. I'm not going to complain about that.
One for the team.
I just want to say before you, I don't know if you've stopped the recording, but I just want to say to your team, you guys, Angela knows what she's doing. Listen to her. Let her coach you for real. Don't say, I like what Angela says, but I'm going to do it this way. She's on her way to every top achiever she's had a chance to go to. She's earned trips, bonuses. She's at the top of the company. Listen to her. Amazing. Don't waste that resource that you have in her. And thank you, Angela. I can't wait to have you on one of our calls.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.